Hello everyone. Today I am going to teach you a new poem, We Are the Music Makers, written by Arthur William Edgar O'Shaughnessy. This is a beautiful poem. It's actually a tribute to all the artists. I have divided this poem into three parts. Today we are going to cover the first part. Okay, so before jumping to understand the poem, I would like to tell you something about the poet. So let's read the poem and talk about the poet. We Are the Music Makers by Arthur William Edgar O'Shaughnessy can be termed as a tribute to all the artists everywhere, be they poets, writers, musicians, painters, sculptors, and all the designers. The poem was published in 1874 under the title The Ode. Arthur O'Shaughnessy worked as a hepatologist in the zoological department of the British Museum. A hepatologist specializes in the study of reptiles and amphibians. But his true passion was literature. His poems are marked with a haunting music on account of their content and form. This ode is the first one in his collection of poems, which is called Music and Moonlight. This poem is tribute to all the artists who have the ability to live in the world of fantasy and build utopias of their own. They are often misunderstood as world's losers and world's world shakers. But here the poet says, but in reality, all these artists are actual movers and shakers of the world. The poem is divided originally into 9 stanzas. What we are going to study only first 3 stanzas in standard 12. So for our purpose, the poem has 3 stanzas. The first stanza of the poem deals with who they are and what they do. They here refers to the collective voice of the speakers of the poem, means all the artists about whom this poem is written. Okay. So it means in the poem, we word is used for all the artists. Okay. The second stanza deals with how they do, which means how they do what they are supposed to do or what they chose to do. Okay. The third stanza deals with how they work with the cycle of creation, which involves creation, decay, death, and rebirth. So we will read the poem slowly and try to understand the meaning of each and every line. So accordingly, you will be able to understand it properly. So the first stanza says, we are the music makers and we are the dreamers of dreams, wandering by lone sea breakers and sitting by dazzling streams. So here in the very first line, the word we, poem begins with the word we. So here we refers to the collective voice of all the artists everywhere. Here the poet hasn't referred to any specific category of art, but of all the art, be it writing, poetry, painting, sculpture, music, dancing, or something else. In fact, we may easily conclude, since art is all about aesthetic, innovation, creativity, emotion, and expression. So here the artist says that they are the music makers. Music makers means they are the ones who create music. For what is music here? Music here doesn't refer only to musical notes. No, but anything that brings pleasure to our lives by stirring up the deepest emotions or by touching or awakening our soul, by making us feel alive. So all those artists, all those persons who create this experience for us either through their music or otherwise are called the music makers. So we can also say the music makers in the sense means they bring peacefulness, because any type of music, any type of art gives us peacefulness, gives us aesthetic feelings, it soothes our soul. This is why all the artists are called music makers. Okay, so come to the second line now. We are the dreamers of dreams. Music and dreams make life worth living. Dreams hasn't, we can say dreams here do not mean idleness or wish for daydreaming, okay, but it means just to stand for vision, foresight, ambition, planning. So we can say that it is the dreams that dreams and the music makers who envision the future and take the world forward. Okay, so see the next line. Wandering by lone sea breakers and sitting by desolate streams. However, these artists find it very difficult to adjust in the society because they are often misunderstood and their work is not considered and their work is not given validity by the common people. Means they are considered as a bag of worms, they are considered as idle people, okay, so their work is not much considered in today's society. So this is why they used to wander. Lone here means alone, okay, so they used to wander, they used to roam about near the lone seas. Lone means alone, they used to wander alone. Alone means aloof, in aloofness, in solitude, near the sea streams, okay, near the seas where normally people do not like to go, okay, because they feel alone. So this is why they wander by the lone seas, okay. Sea breakers, here it is written wandering by lone sea breakers. Sea breakers here are the structures built on the sea shore in order to protect from the erosion, okay, because when the sea waves rise up, okay, there is always a danger of erosion, okay. So just to protect the sea or sea banks from erosion, their sea breakers are built, okay. So this is why sometimes these artists spend their time sitting near the desolate streams, sitting by desolate streams. Desolate again, very sad, pathetic, okay. This provides, why they used to spend their time while sitting near the desolate streams, because this provides them solitude, and this solitude provides them inspiration, because in solitude, in the aloofness, that original ideas generates, okay, because this solitude and this inspiration gives them and it's without which they won't be able to produce any art. If artists didn't distance themselves from the common society, from the common folk or from the society, possibly they won't be able to think out of the box. This is why all these artists, they used to wander alone, they used to sit alone, because this aloneness, this aloofness, this loneliness brings a very creative ideas among them, and those creative ideas are created or are depicted or are displayed through their art forms, okay. So, and I hope the first 4 lines are understood properly. So now let's read the next. Okay, here's stanza 1 continued. The poet says, world losers and world forshakers, upon whom the pale moon gleams, yet we are the movers and shakers of the world forever it seems. Here, world losers and world forshaker, what does it mean? So to understand this line, we have to go back to the first part of the first stanza, where the poet says that they used to live a lonely life away from the hustle and bustle of this life, and they used to live away from the mainstream of society. They used to live away from the luxurious life, because it is very essential for them to sacrifice this world, because to live in the dreams in order to discover the beauty in human nature or to produce the ultimate piece of art, it is very essential for all the artists to live away from the mainstream. But while living away from the luxurious life, they have to forsake this world. So forsake means to abandon this world, to give up everything, to leave something behind, escape from. Okay, so it is very difficult for them to exist in the society. Okay, this is why the people, because they cannot earn much from their art. Okay, because they have very meager salaries. This is why they are called losers, they are called forshakers. Okay, because they have to leave all the comforts of the world. Okay, see the next line. Upon whom the pale moon gleams. So this line can be considered into two ways. Moon is very pale moon. So mark this line, pale moon gleams. So first of all, we have to understand this is a very important line as, okay, here he says, moon that gleams upon them, it soothes, inspires and watches over them. And because moon understands the trial and tribulations they go through. All the artists are highly sensitive people, we know. And they feel a very special bondage, a special connection with the moon. Okay, when the rest of the world is indoors, the artists are the ones who bask in and admires the pleasing and gentle, cool beauty of the pale moon. The pale moon may not attract much attention as in comparison to the full bright moon. Okay? Only those with the keen eyes or sharp attentivity, they can admire its beauty. Okay, so pale moon, it's just, you have to keep in mind, here we are not talking about a full bright moon. No, here we are talking about pale moon. What it depicts, it highlights the fact that artists have to live a very hard life to earn their living. Okay, if they sometimes if they have already have an inheritance or sometimes found a patron, they can pursue the art freely, but most of the time this is not the case. The artists generally have to struggle financially, especially, which is depicted by gleams. Gleam is dull shine of the pale moon. Okay, so this is why here it is written that upon whom the pale moon gleams. It also refers to the meager salaries, very less earnings from their art. Okay, so there in their life there is no sunshine, only the pale moonlight, very less shine is there in their life. Okay, so again in the see the second last line of the first paragraph, yet we are the movers and shakers. Here the poet says, yet all the artists in one collective voice, he used to say, he is saying that all the artists, in spite of their loneliness, in spite of their financial struggles, it is they who are the movers and shakers of the world. Okay, this has been the case, and it will remain the same in the future too. We know that through their art they can bring revolutions in the world. With their designs, with their creativity, they can push the society on the path of progress and growth. Okay, by shaking it from monotony, we can say, or from stagnation. Or they can just bring awakening, they can wake the people from deep slumber. Okay, so this is why it is a very important phrase is used, movers and shakers of the world forever. Here world, it is written world forever. So they know that through their art they can bring a drastic, they can bring a change, a revolutionary change in the world. Okay, because they believe in themselves, they believe in the value of their art. So this is very clearly depicted. It seems the world forever, it seems. Okay, so here we end our first paragraph. So in the next video session I'll teach you the second paragraph of the poem. So read this carefully, and if in case you find any problem, then feel free to contact with me. Thank you everyone.